Hey guys, welcome back. So I've been hearing a lot on Facebook groups for beginning woodworkers and other groups that I'm a part of that it's becoming more and more difficult for your beginner woodworker to find projects to make with wood being as expensive as it is. So what I thought I'd do today, and I think what Grace and I are going to do maybe a couple times a month, is we're going to focus on some very, very beginner projects that we can make with very cheap wood. And so in this video, we're going to make this kind of rustic beer carrier here, which takes about an hour and a half and only uses $3.98 worth of wood. And at least that's the price of it today. And this is February 13th. Oh, Valentine's Day tomorrow. $3.98 for one single board, and this is it. It's a dog-eared cedar board, 5/8 of an inch thick, 5.5 inches wide, and 6 feet long. We're going to use one board to make this carrier, and like I said, we'll do it in about an hour and a half. Not a bad project, especially if you can customize it like I did. I lasered our logo on there and you know, put the words handcrafted, because I do brew my own beer, and so this will be fun for us to have around the house when I serve my own craft beer to friends. But you can probably sell these for $20, $25 at farmers markets, or if you customize them for people, I imagine you could probably get more, somewhere in the $35, $40, $45 range. So not a bad turnaround for a piece of wood that only costs you $4 and only takes about an hour and a half to make. So not a bad use of your time. Not going to retire anytime soon, but not a bad use. Anyways, this is going to be a really simple build. Very quickly, I'll just go through the steps, and then I'll just let you watch the video. I'm going to treat this board like I would treat any other board. I'm going to joint it. I'm going to plane it. I'm going to make sure it's square. And then I'm going to just start cutting out my pieces. I didn't have plans for this. I normally don't have plans for things when I set out to build them like this, but now that I have a functional working copy, I'll put all the dimensions for all the wood that I used inside the description for this video. And again, you're going to get all this whole thing out of just one cedar picket plank. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to treat these cedar planks just like I would treat any other piece of wood. I'm going to joint them, and I'm going to send them through the plater so that I can get nice, flat, good-looking boards. Next, I'm going to lay out my beer bottles and the planks of wood so I can get final dimensions, or at least close to final dimensions, on the pieces that I need. Here, I'm jointing two boards that I'm going to glue together that'll make up the handle of this beer carrier. I'm going to glue these two pieces together to form a panel that I'm later going to cut and form into the handle of this carrier. I'll do a quick test for fit before I cut the slats into the sides that'll make up the face. For nothing more than decoration, I'm going to cut the front and the back of this carrier into 3 pieces on each side. 2 pieces are going to be about 1.25 inches, and then the remainder, which is 2.5 inches, is going to be the center, basically rail that runs across the front of the carrier. Here I'm ripping the bottom of the carrier in half. I've marked out where I want the handle to be, so using a 1-inch Forstner bit, I drill 2 holes, one at each side of the handle, which I'll then clean up with a scroll saw. With both holes drilled, using the scroll saw to even out the opening for the handle is easy work. Using a 3/8 inch round over bit on my router table, I'm going to just smooth out the edges for a nice clean look. I'll do one last dry fit together to make sure everything's just right, and then I'll start gluing up and putting the thing together. I'm using 23 gauge 5/8 inch pin nails to hold these pieces in place while the glue dries. I'm cutting 2 2.5 by 13 inch strips to cut the dividers out for the bottles. With everything finally cut, it's time to start gluing it all together. I'll give everything a nice light sanding to ease out the edges and basically just remove any excess glue or other marks. Finally, I'm going to give the whole thing a coat of tung oil. and I chose that just because I happen to have that lying around, but you could use anything you want. And that's it, guys, you're done. If you like this video, please hit the like button, please subscribe. I think next week, Grace and I are both going to take on a kind of a palette challenge where we each get a palette and we see what we can make out of the palette, because a lot of times you can get those for free. Or we may be doing something out of dimensional lumber like 2x4s or 2x6s. I don't know, something cheap. That's what we're going to focus on for these types of videos for beginning woodworkers. Very, very cheap and easy things to build, but still add value to your life. So don't forget, hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000. I think when we get to 1,000, we're going to do some sort of giveaway. So hit that subscribe button so you get notified when our next video comes out. And thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.